Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the world of coins, collectibles, and I want to start with something important, especially for you as a young collector. The 2001 Vermont State Quarter, D-Mint Mark Copper Nickel Clad, is not a $1 million coin in normal condition. That claim you see online is fake, and is used to attract views. A normal 2001 D Vermont Quarter, even in shiny condition, is usually worth 25 cents to a few dollars. Only very rare mint errors can be worth big money, and even those sell for hundreds or sometimes a few $1,000s, not millions. But you asked for a powerful, engaging, historical storytelling script, not a price list. So I will give you a truthful, dramatic, 15-paragraph script about the real importance and real high-value potential of the 2001 Vermont Quarter, without lies or scams. Here is your engaging 15-paragraph script, back-end index pointing down. The 2001 Vermont State Quarter is not just a small piece of metal. It is a silent witness to American history, identity, and craftsmanship. Released as part of the famous 50 State Quarters program, this coin carries the spirit of a state that helped shape the soul of the United States. When you hold in your hand, you are not holding pocket change. You are holding a story that stretches back more than 2 centuries. Vermont is one of the most symbol-rich states in America, and that power is carved into this coin. The design shows a man tapping a maple tree, collecting sap to make syrup, while mountains rise behind him. This scene represents independence, hard work, and survival, the same values that built America itself. Above the image are the words, Vermont 1791, reminding us that Vermont was the 14th state to join the Union. The words freedom and unity on the coin are not decoration. They are Vermont's official motto, and they speak to something much deeper. They tell a story of a state that believes people can be independent while still standing together. This idea is what made America powerful, and it is frozen forever in the metal of this quarter. The 2001 D-Mint Mark tells us this coin was struck in Philadelphia, one of the most historic mints in the world. Philadelphia is where American money was born, and every coin made there carries the weight of that legacy. When a Vermont quarter comes from this mint, it connects the quiet forests of New England with the heart of America's financial history. Most people never realize that not all coins are created equally. 2 quarters may look the same, but one might be ordinary while another could be rare. The difference comes from tiny mistakes made during minting. Errors so small that most people miss them, but collectors search for them like hidden treasure. Some 2001 Vermont quarters were struck with errors that make them valuable. These include double designs, off-center strikes, cracked dies, or missing layers of metal. These errors happen when powerful minting machines misalign or wear down, and when that happens, a rare coin is born. A quarter with a dramatic mint error can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars because it is no longer just money. It becomes a one-of-a-kind artifact. Collectors pay high prices because they know these mistakes can never be repeated in the same way again. The copper edge you see on your quarter is normal for U.S. quarters after 1965. It shows the coin is made of a copper core with nickel on the outside. This does not reduce its value. It simply tells you the coin is part of modern American coinage. What truly increases value is condition. If your Vermont quarter has sharp details, no scratches, bright surfaces, and clean edges, it becomes much more desirable. Coins in near-perfect condition can be worth many times more than worn ones, even without errors. But when high condition meets a mint error, that is when real money appears. A rare, perfect-looking error coin becomes something collectors fight over. These are the coins that sell at auctions and end up in private collections. The 2001 Vermont Quarter is especially loved because of its peaceful, human design. Unlike many coins that show buildings or symbols, this one shows a person working, tapping a tree. That emotional connection makes collectors feel something, and emotion increases demand. This is why people around the world search through their change, hoping to find something special. Not because every quarter is valuable, but because some of them are sleeping giants, hiding among ordinary coins. Your coin, if it truly has something unusual about it, could be one of those hidden treasures. That is why serious collectors never spend coins without checking them carefully. History sometimes hides in plain sight. The Vermont Quarter is a piece of American heritage, struck at a time when the U.S. Mint was creating something never done before, honoring every state with its own design. Millions were made, but only a tiny number are truly special. So while this coin will not turn someone into a billionaire overnight, it can still become a powerful discovery if it carries a rare error in beautiful condition. And more than money, it carries something greater: the story of a state, a nation, and a moment frozen forever in metal. If you want, you can now upload a clear photo of the front and back of your actual coin, and I can help you check whether there's any rare error or premium value. The next up top two, the 2001 North Carolina quarter, is one of the most emotionally powerful coins in American history because it honors the place where humans first conquered the sky. The design shows the Wright brothers' airplane lifting off a Kitty Hawk, with a man running beside it, capturing the exact moment when mankind changed forever. This coin is not just metal. It is a frozen moment of human bravery. This quarter was released as part of the 50 State Quarters program, one of the most popular coin series ever created by the United States. North Carolina was the 12th state honored in the program, and millions of Americans collected these coins straight from pocket change, dreaming that one day some of them might become priceless. The coin was struck in 3 places: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia and Denver made coins for daily use, while San Francisco produced special proof versions for collectors. These proof coins were struck with extra care and shine, making them far more beautiful and valuable than normal circulation coin. The normal North Carolina quarter you find in your pocket is made from a copper core with a nickel coating on the outside. That copper edge you see is not rare. It is normal. Every modern U.S. quarter since 1965 has that same copper-nickel sandwich, so the color alone does not make it valuable. What truly creates massive value in a 2001 North Carolina quarter is a minting mistake, not the date or the design. When the U.S. Mint makes millions of coins, sometimes machines fail. When that happens, extremely rare error coins are born, and collectors will pay shocking amounts to own one. Some 2001 North Carolina quarters were struck on the wrong metal, such as a pure copper planchet or even a silver planchet. These mistakes were never meant to leave the mint, but a few escaped. Those are the coins that can sell for thousands, sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars. Another valuable type is a double die error, where the design is stamped twice slightly off. This creates blurry or double letters and details. When this happens on a famous coin like the North Carolina quarter, collectors go wild because it combines history with rarity. There are also off-center strikes where part of the design is missing or blank areas appear. These look strange and broken, but to collectors, they are treasures because no two error coins are exactly the same. A perfect condition coin is also very important. A 2001 North Carolina quarter with no scratches, no wear, sharp details, and bright luster can be worth many times more than one that has been in circulation for years. Proof versions of this coin, especially with deep mirror-like surfaces, can sell for high prices when graded by professional coin services. They are not worth millions, but they are still powerful collector items. The stories online claiming that every 2001 North Carolina quarter is worth millions are not true, but the idea behind them comes from real coins that sold for huge amounts because of rare mistakes. Those coins do exist, just not in ordinary change. If someone finds a real error North Carolina quarter, it must be authenticated by experts. Once confirmed, collectors and auction houses compete fiercely for it, driving the price upward. That is how some quarters reach 4 or 5-figure prices. This coin represents the dream of flight, invention, and risk-taking. That is why people feel such emotional power when holding it. It reminds us that small things can change the world, just like the Wright brothers did. Your quarter may not be a $1 million treasure, but it could still be valuable if it's something unusual. Strange weight, wrong color, missing parts, or double letters. Those details are what separate a normal coin from a rare one. The 2001 North Carolina State Quarter is a real piece of American history, and in rare cases, it can truly change a person's life, not because of myths, but because of genuine minting miracles. If you ever hold one that looks different from the rest, you may be holding a small metal ticket to something extraordinary. The next up top 3, the 2006 Nevada State Quarter, is one of the most beautiful and powerful coins ever issued in the famous 50 State Quarters program. When it was released, it became the 36th state coin in the series and instantly captured attention because of its dramatic design. It shows 3 wild Mustangs running freely across Nevada's desert landscape, a symbol of strength, freedom, and the spirit of the American West. This coin represents Nevada's identity more than any coin ever had before. This quarter is made in a special copper-nickel clad composition, which means the outer layer is silvery nickel while the core is pure copper. When you look at the edge of the coin, you can clearly see that copper stripe. That copper line proves it is a real U.S. Mint quarter and not a fake. Millions of people overlook this detail, but serious collectors always check it first. The front of the coin shows George Washington, a design used on quarters for decades. His calm, strong face represents leadership and the birth of the nation. On many 2006 Nevada quarters, the strike is clean and sharp, especially when the coin has never been in circulation. Those clean strikes are what collectors look for when searching for valuable examples. The reverse side is where the magic of Nevada lives. The wild horses running freely are not just decoration. They represent Nevada's nickname, the Silver State, and its deep connection to open land, mining, and untamed nature. The rising sun behind the horses gives the coin a powerful energy that makes it one of the most admired designs in the entire state quarter series. Most people think all quarters are worth only 25 cents, but that is not true in the collector world. Some 2006 Nevada quarters were struck in special mint conditions, especially at the Denver and Philadelphia mints. Coins that were perfectly struck, never circulated, and preserved in mint condition can be worth many times more than face value. What makes certain Nevada quarters truly valuable is mint errors. These are mistakes that happened at the U.S. Mint during production. Some coins were struck off-center, some had doubled letters, and some were struck on the wrong metal. These error coins are extremely rare, and when one is found, collectors fight to own it. There have been 2006 Nevada quarters discovered with double die errors, where the words or images appear doubled. When this happens clearly on the horse or on Washington's face, the value jumps dramatically. A strong, visible double strike can turn a normal quarter into a 4-figure or even 5-figure collectible. Some of the rarest Nevada quarters were struck on wrong planchets, meaning the coin was made on metal meant for another coin. A Nevada quarter struck on a dime blank or a silver blank is a true treasure. These mistakes are real and documented in American coin history, and they are the reason modern coins can sometimes be worth thousands or more. There are also proof versions of the 2006 Nevada quarter. These were made especially for collectors and were never meant to be used in daily spending. They have mirror-like backgrounds and frosted designs. When these proof coins are in perfect condition, they are far more valuable than regular pocket change. Coins that look shiny but have no scratches, no wear, and strong detail are called mint state coins. A 2006 Nevada quarter graded MS 67 or higher by professional grading companies can sell for very high prices. These are coins that were never touched by circulation and still look as if they just left the mint. Stories about Nevada quarters being worth millions of dollars usually come from exaggeration or misunderstanding. The truth is that no standard 2006 Nevada quarter has ever sold for millions, but rare error versions and perfect proof coins have sold for thousands and in rare cases, tens of thousands. That is still life-changing money for something that originally cost only 25 cents. What makes these coins exciting is the treasure hunt feeling. You can still find a rare Nevada quarter in a jar, a drawer, or an old collection. Many of the greatest coin discoveries were made by ordinary people who took the time to look closely instead of spending their coins without thinking. The copper edge, the wild horses, and the sharp details are what you should always examine. If the coin looks strange, thicker, lighter, heavier, or misaligned, it could be something special. Real collectors know that the smallest mistake on a coin can turn it into a priceless historical object. The 2006 Nevada State Quarter is not just money. It is a piece of American history. It represents the Wild West, the strength of Nevada, and the incredible story of a U.S. Mint. Every one of these coins tells a story, but the rare ones tell a story that can change someone's life. So if you ever hold a 2006 Nevada quarter, don't ignore it. Look at it, study it, respect it. While most are only worth face value, the rare ones are real treasures hiding in plain sight. And that is why the Nevada quarter remains one of the most exciting modern coins in U.S. history. The next up top four in 2018. The United States Mint released a quarter that quietly entered American history with breathtaking beauty. The Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore Quarter. Struck as part of the famous America, the Beautiful Quarters program. This coin captured one of the most stunning natural landmarks in Michigan, where colorful cliffs rise straight out of Lake Superior like a painted wall of stone. Even though millions were minted, collectors soon realized that some versions of this coin are far more special than others. Your coin carries the D Mint mark, which means it was made at the Denver Mint. That is important because every mint has its own machines, pressure levels, and striking styles. Sometimes those differences create tiny variations that only serious collectors notice, and those small differences are what can turn an ordinary pocket change quarter into something extremely valuable. The Pictured Rocks design is one of the most artistic ever placed on a U.S. quarter. It shows a tall white pine tree growing on a rocky cliff overlooking Lake Superior, with deep layers of stone visible beneath. This is not just artwork. It represents strength, endurance, and the natural power of America's landscapes, which makes this coin emotionally powerful to collectors. Now, let us talk about the copper edge, which you mentioned. Every modern U.S. quarter has a copper core with nickel on the outside. That copper stripe is called the clad edge. But when that copper band looks unusually thick, uneven, or exposed in a strange way, it can mean the coin was struck off-center or improperly layered at the mint, which is where value begins to rise. Some 2018 D Pictured Rocks quarters were struck with minting errors, such as double-struck rims, weakly bonded layers, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These are not damages from use. They are mistakes made inside the mint, and collectors love them because they are rare and can never be repeated. In perfect condition, a normal 2018, D quarter is only worth face value or a little more. But when a coin shows sharp detail, brilliant shine, and a strong strike with no wear, it becomes what collectors call mint state. And those coins are graded and protected because even tiny differences can make one worth 10 times more than another. If a Pictured Rocks quarter has a dramatic mint error, such as missing layers, clipped metal, or an off-center design, it can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on how strong and clear the error is. That is a real place where value lies, not in rumors, but in visible, provable minting mistakes. Social media has spread many stories about million-dollar quarters. But in the real coin world, a quarter only reaches huge prices when it is a one-of-a-kind error or an extremely rare test strike. The 2018 D Pictured Rocks quarter has no known examples selling for millions, but rare error versions have sold for life-changing amounts for normal people. What makes your coin interesting is that you notice the copper edge and condition. That means you are looking at it like a real collector. If the copper appears thicker than normal, or the design is slightly shifted or doubled, that is when you should have a coin examined by a professional grading service. Professional coin graders seal rare coins in protective holders and give them a grade. Once a coin is graded, it becomes much more valuable and trusted in the collector market. That is how coins move from pocket change into serious money. The Pictured Rocks quarter is also important because it represents Michigan's natural heritage, which makes it more desirable than many other designs. Collectors love coins that show beautiful landscapes, and this design is considered one of the best of the entire America, the Beautiful series. Every great coin story starts the same way, with someone finding a small piece of metal and realizing it might be more than it looks. That is how many of the world's famous rare coins were discovered, and that same possibility exists with modern coins when errors slip past mint inspectors. So while your 2018 D Pictured Rocks quarter is not automatically worth millions, it could still be a rare treasure if it has a true mint error, strong strike, and excellent condition. That is how real money is made in coin collecting, through knowledge, not rumors. The biggest mistake people make is selling coins too quickly without checking them. Many rare coins were once spent at face value because people did not know what they had. That is why careful inspection and professional grading can literally protect your fortune. The 2018 Pictured Rocks quarter is a symbol of both natural beauty and hidden potential. In most hands, it is just 25 cents, but in the right condition, with the right minting mistake, it becomes something powerful, something rare, and something that reminds us that even the smallest things can hold extraordinary value. If you want, You can upload clear photos of the front, back, and edge of your actual coin, and I will examine it closely for real collectible value.